So, what's your thoughts on the Sheik matchup? And can you see my screen okay?
Yeah, so, like, I kind of struggle to, like, kind of get in when I want to. Or, like, I'm not really sure what positions to pick, right? And a lot of the time I'll, like, try to go for something and I get, like, falling forward air or, like, something like that.
Okay. So, yeah, it's definitely, like, in this matchup, position does, like, it matters differently than Fox and Falco. Like, with Fox, you have, like, a strong dash, he can run up grab really fast, he can up smash you, Nair combo, and then Falco has, like, downer combos over and over again, or, like, not locking you down with lasers, so, like,
Yeah.
the positioning on that is, like, always further away, whereas Sheik, you can play a lot closer, because Sheik doesn't have the combo game that Falco does, or, like, the raw, like, kill potential that Fox does, so it's always going to be a lot closer, is, like, a general rule of thumb. And then also, like, you probably think, like, crouch is just, like, OP on, like, but, like, realistically, Sheik's crouch is just, like, the same thing, and it's not really, like, the crouch that makes it good, it's more about, like, it's always about being, like, below Sheik, if you can. You don't really want to be above Sheik, like, ever. Whoever is above is almost always losing, is basically how the matchup, like, essentially boils down to. But okay, so you definitely just, like, get caught in your movement here. This is really weird. You just, like, miss your waveline off the platform.
I think I just missed the button.
Yeah, this is definitely what I was talking about with the other matchups. Is definitely aggressive approach is really good. So if you waveline off here and then gone for, like, a back air, that'd been
That probably
fine.
hits.
Yeah.
Or like they're in shield or something.
But now that you're still on the platform, you don't want to ever be in this position. This is like so this is what I was talking about. There not being that many bad positions. This is literally the only bad position in this matchup. This diagonal is, like, very, very bad, because you just get hit by needles and then you just get fared off the platform if you're, like, close, or you just get needle spammed over and over again. It's kind of like when Falco's, like, lasering you. You can't really get off the ground easily. You have to, like, buffer roll or, like, potentially get a jump away here, and all those options kind of suck because you can't really, like, come towards Sheik in the spot because of the threat of run off fair.
Yeah.
And then they could also still just charge needles, so that's why it kind of sucks to, like, jump, because if they charge needles and they just see you jumping, they just throw the needles. So it's like your best option is basically to go this way and then try and make your way back onto the platform safely. It's like whenever you can, just avoid this spot completely.
Okay.
It's like it would have been obviously fine if you, like, tried to go for the aggressive option first and you stayed on the platform and then you got hit, but it wasn't really, like, the same thing as, like, an opener. The opener was done already, so it's not like you're, like, opening the game, if that makes sense. Okay. What did you try to do here? I'm trying to figure this one out.
I wouldn't be surprised if I just, like, tried to fair and, like, didn't jump.
Yeah, basically whenever Sheik, like, throws up, like, a full hop here with charging needles, you can just literally get under her and rest. Okay. It's actually, you just literally can rest the landing. It's crazy. Also, yeah, you can't go for an upper here. I would pretty much never fair, because, like I was talking about with, like, the weak fair stuff, like, getting back to stage, it's the same concept where, like, fair just doesn't get you, like, a strong hit here, and, like, even if you get the weak fair, they're just going to be able to nair out of it. It's just not going to really be really good at all. So this would have been good if you went for the wrist or, like, up air. Those options are fine. You can actually drill out of the down throw Nair setup. So after you get hit by Nair here, you can literally just drill right now, and she can't, like, stop it at all. It's pretty good. Like, there's, like, not much counterplay that she can do. It's, like, a general rule of thumb in most characters. Like, whenever you get hit by, like, a low percent move, you can usually drill out of it. It's not, like, the same thing as like, when you, like, get hit and want to try and get another hit. This is just, like, it's kind of like a Luigi Nair type of situation, or like a Peach Nair. It's like the same thing where Puff can do down air 'cause it's just super fast, and then also you can't be crouch canceled, and then it also puts him enough stun that usually you can, like, fade back the drill as well too when you land too, so you can't really get true punish off it. So it's really good. Okay, so you go platform here. I don't really like platforms in this matchup, like pretty much at all, just because you just get locked down in really awkward situations. It's like when Fox or like Falco is up tilting you on the platform, you can like shield drop punish that, right? But like when Sheik is up tilting you on the platform, you can literally not shield drop punish that. So you basically lose a ton of your options when you go to a platform. It's almost pretty much only to like reset jumps or to like try and shark Sheik like on the top platform the only times I go there. It's like I'd probably just jump away back air or something like that and then try and like reset. I probably wouldn't try and land on the platform, try and get like further away from Sheik, maybe try to get her to commit like I was talking about with like Fox, and like throw out like a back air or something. You sneak under that with an up air and then you can like start pressuring her, but those options are fine. The shield drop back air is completely fine too. There's nothing like inherently wrong with it because you're trying to stop Sheik from getting onto the platforms. This is fine. Okay, but I don't like retreating like this far away. Like once this back air whiffs, essentially Sheik is in shield there, so she's not going to be able to actually like threaten you because she's shielding. She can't like her jump out of shield isn't going to like do anything. Her jump out of shield drift is just terrible. So it's not like she'll be able to jump out of shield forward air you if you just literally stand still. So like her best options like Wavedash OOS shield down smash or something like that, or like Wavedash OOS shield grab are her like only options. In which case you can literally just sit here crouching, which is like I think you understand it kind of intuitively, but I'll just like say it like basically anytime you go for any aerial in this matchup, just press down after you. Okay. Even if you hit it or whiff it, just press down and be crouching, because basically she can't do much when you're crouching, which is what I was saying earlier, but like there's some nuances. Like once you get past like 30, I think it's 36%, then down smash breaks your crouch. So then you have to start doing shield mix-ups in there too, if you think that the Sheik is gonna like run up down smash, or like I'm saying here, wait, that's just shield down smash. But yeah, in this spot, like if you say the back air crouch, just sat and crouch for a second to see if Sheik does a Wavedash OOS shield like down smash or grab, which she doesn't. And then once you see that, then you can start going towards her and trying to play an empty land mix up on her shield. Like you can go for like empty line up tilt, empty line grab. Either of those options are good, or trying to go for like empty land and read the jump out of shield with up air. Doesn't really net much at this percent, but it's at least like you're threatening it, which is what was a big thing about the last lesson, is like establishing threats for sure.
Yeah, there's like,
yeah. But yeah, you just like decide to play the passive route, and it's like in this matchup you can't really like choose to play the passive route over and over again, because Sheik's neutral is probably like the best character like neutralized against Puff. So you can't like play like super far away and like getting chip damage with back air, because you will just eventually lose like 80% of the interactions, and like the back airs that you hit aren't going to like make up for the 20% that you're actually winning, if that makes sense. So it's like playing closer and able to go for like an up tilt, like a tomahawk, like up tilt mix up, or grab mix up, or like down throw into the platform. Like all of those just like lead to kills, even if like maybe you still lose 80% of the time, the 20% that you're winning is going to net a stock. So just like to always try and find a way to make a more like aggressive option, and not try and like always choose the passive route. That makes sense. Okay, so you put yourself in the diagonal again. So what I was saying, just like literally jump like on like the edge of the side platform here, and then like you can do like a wave land and double jump away if you think they're gonna charge like needles and throw them at you. And if they don't do that and they stay on the side platform, you can go above them and try and like hit them diagonally with the back air, because they just have no hitbox for that. They would have to turn around and back air you to even like attempt that, in which case then you can just wait out the back air and just whiff punish it like when it's in the air. Or you can like try and like sneak under them a little bit and then go for like a double jump up air type of situation. All those options would be fine, but this is just like really scary, because also a big problem with Sheik is that her dash is really fast, like comparatively to like Falco, for instance. It's kind of similar to Fox, where like whenever you whiff an aerial, a full hop aerial read like this, you kind of have to pick a landing spot now. Like I was saying with the platforms, it's okay, it's like not great, because when you get onto the platform and you land here, Sheik is going to run into the platform and start throwing out up tilts, and you can't really deal with it. If you land this way, that's a mix-up, and if you land this way, that's a mix-up. Most of the time, people will land this way, which is what I was talking about with the with Fox, and they will just get run up grabbed or run up dash attacked, down smashed, all those options here. So yeah, if I have to mix up, I'd probably try and cross up Sheik a lot of the time on my landings, and not try and do this one. They're very like primed for this landing a lot, and even if they're not primed for like the double jump, like away type stuff, they can still kind of cover it if they don't want to be passive and go for like the up tilt onto the platform. They can just dash double jump like fair here or up air, and that's just like not that great. So just try and like be conscious about like your cross up. Like here, I don't really like just like the neutral drift you did. I would just full drift away if like I'm doing any drift at all. I would just be conscious about like doing these type of backers like as your only option, because like basically every time you go onto the platform in this game, you've done this exact same back air, which is like not bad, but like you have to mix up like your spacing of the back air. Like even though I was saying like you want to be closer, if you do this exact same type of back air over and over again, then the Sheik is just going to like anticipate it. So you can mix that up with just like jump off the platform, double jump away. You can also mix this up with waveline off the platform into like an empty land mix up, like grab or up tilt. Those are the only like two other options I would even consider. You can also do like shield drop this way and go ledge, but honestly, like I'm saying, I don't really want to take that passive of a route. So those are the two other like type of mix-ups you could do instead here. Okay, so anytime that she jumps and she lands on the ground, basically she's going to throw out like a forward tilt, or she's going to throw out a shield. She's going to throw out like, usually not a spot dodge. She's not going to jump again, is basically how it works with Sheik, because of how long it takes for her to have a threat again. Whereas like the only threat she has like off of like an instant jump is like short hop Nair. It's like her only like threatening option off of like jump again. Whereas like Fox, for instance, his Nair is really fast. He could do that. He can do full hop, and with his fall speed, he can do basically anything. Same with Falco with his fall speed. He can just like instantly full hop down air, and that's a threat. But Sheik just does not have the fall speed or the drift for her to have a direct threat after jumping again after landing. So basically, you want to decide whether you want to punish Sheik's landing initially or you want to punish what she does after. And you can't like pick this like gray area. Like the only reason you can get hit by F tilt here is because either you are not like, I'm trying to think, either you're not like ready to like whiff punish the landing directly, you're not reacting, or you are like not like consciously thinking about the fact that Sheik landed and she's not going to like she's not going to dash back after landing. That's another one too. She doesn't want to dash back. It doesn't really make sense for Sheik. It's like the thing about Sheik's grab is that she can be crouched as well too. So let's say instead of doing this jump here, you literally just like sat and crouched or something, and Sheik goes for a dash back and tries to grab you. It just doesn't work because you just crouch under her grab. So like she's not gonna do that option either. So basically what I would do is I would just pick always like against the Sheik, whether I'm gonna punish their landing or I'm gonna punish their with their option after. Usually it kind of depends on how much time you have. If you have more time, you'd punish the landing itself, or if you have less time, you'd punish the option after. It does kind of require a hard read, but like let's say Sheik decides to shield here instead of doing the forward tilt, you can still literally go for like an empty land mix up after it if you just sit here like in crouch or something like that, and that's just completely fine. You don't have to like lose a lot of time, because like I was saying, Sheik doesn't really have like a super good option when she's in shield to immediately get out. It's like her Nair out of shield's like okay, but you can crouch under it, you can wave dash like through it. So it's like she doesn't have a great option when she's shielded. She doesn't have a shine out of shield is the big thing for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, this edge cancel's fine, but definitely Sheik is the easiest character to beat edge cancel stuff, so just try not to do it every time. It's really important. I like this up air call out for sure. So in this matchup, it's funny because I was talking about like having to threaten things against Sheik, but sometimes like Sheiks are so ingrained to jump out of shield. At least bad Sheiks are usually are ingrained to jump out of shield because they've gotten tomahawk grabbed like 1,000 times before. It's weird because that's not like the case with other characters. So going for like up air every time until they start to only shield is like the level 1. Even though it seems like you should grab first, up air is actually the move against Sheik. But I would rather do rising up air here, like with full hop, than doing a short hop because you can't like get anything off of this one. You just basically just lose a mix up here. Okay. I don't really like going like above onto the side platform here. You don't really like have like many options to like threaten Sheik when you're above her, like I was saying. So don't really agree with this option. What I've done instead here is once I whiff like this back air, this was a fine like option to go for. You thought that Sheik was probably near for like forward air or something. That's okay. Once you whiff that, just like land here, and then you can just be in crouch. Maybe she'll run up, grab you. You can rest that. And if she doesn't, maybe she goes for F tilt, and you can probably crouch cancel forward smash that. I don't know if it'll hit based on the range. I don't think it will. If it doesn't hit, you just whiff punish it with back air. If she shields, then you just go for tomahawk mix up. Like it would have been really good if you just sat there. And then she does do an F tilt. Like usually, like it's like I was saying with the recovery type of situation with Fox, they will continuously go for the same landing option over and over again until you punish it a lot. So that's just something to keep in mind for sure. This falling up air was good. Probably would prefer to try and go for an up tilt over a grab, because you just don't really net much off of a grab here. Especially with this DI.
Especially like turning around.
Yeah, this would have been way better to go for falling up air, up tilt here. And also, I'd prefer to go for up throw in this position, because you can't get a down throw onto the side plats.
Yeah.
And if you ever watch Hungrybox, like versus J-Mook, he just gets like 1,000 up airs in a row into a kill. Yeah, it's definitely really good. And it's like back throw with this percent, like they're just being able to grab ledge. And then when they're on the ledge, it's very important to like have threatening ledge options. You don't really want to play like a very passive type of style versus Sheik on the ledge. You want to like continuously be threatening. So in order to do that, you'd either have to grab the ledge. That's one of the options, be threatening, because if you grab the ledge in their middle of the up B, they have to up B on the stage, or they can literally die because they can't actually up B on the stage at that point. So that's one. There's another one is you can try and down air their ledge refresh. That's pretty good when you have invincibility. And once you do that, you can potentially like Wavedash edge and snipe them, or like sing grab edge, stuff like that. That's another good option. Also, you can try and like disrespect their ledge dash and like literally try and up tilt their ledge dash. Like once they do the ledge dash, they have no glint, you just up tilt their ledge dash. That's a pretty common one. I've won many sets by up tilting good players' ledge dashes. It's pretty good. And then another one is trying to grab their shield or crouch cancel grab their F tilt when they come up to you. Those are like the only options I'd really be thinking of. You could also try and like jump away, bait out like a dash jump like forward air or something like that off the ledge, or do like if they do like a run up Nair after ledge dashing, you can try and bait that out too, like a Wavedash back forward smash. Like those are also options, but like what you choose to do here is just try and like back or the ledge dash, which like best case scenario, let's say Sheik was at like 50 here. Sheik is at 50, she literally just holds down and goes back to ledge again, and then you just reset the situation over and over again. Okay. Whereas like going for like a forward throw here would be a lot better. Not this percent, because it's not going to do much. But like, let's say you go for down throw, and then you put Sheik in a position where she's not going to land on the platform. She's going to slide off at best. Yeah. At best here. But she'll have to pick like a defensive option to get out of the down throw, because she can't just go right to ledge, because if you try and like, she goes right to ledge, you can just literally back her out of it or something like that. And if she tries to double jump out of the down throw, you can go for a sharking up air and just upper rest her. So basically having like more threatening ledge options is really important. Yeah, I don't really like, I would have just sat in crouch here and just took the forward air. I don't even know if forward air would have hit here. It's honestly, it might not have. You could also try and shield the forward air like on reaction as well too, after crouching. It's a little bit sus to do that though, because if they run up grab instead, the reaction isn't that easy. so you could literally just die. So not die at this percent, obviously, but like if you're at kill percent to grab like down throw. But I can't believe you actually got away with holding crouch that long. It's insane. That's a big thing in this matchup. Like, just try not to hold crouch too long. Alternatives to holding crouch too long is just like wave dash back, wave dash cross up. I like wave dash cross up a lot in this matchup comparatively to like Fox, for instance. Like approaching wave dash cross up is cool because Sheik might go for like a run up like F tilt or down smash here, and you just wave dash through her, and then they're just like looking like a fool, like down smashing or F tilting the wrong way. So that's pretty good. And then you can just like literally just turn around and grab them. I like that a lot. Wave dash back also works here too. You could also try and shield as well if you think they're gonna like run up down smash. But basically holding crouch too long is like very not that good. It's like the threat of crouch is good, but it has to be like unpredictable, if that makes sense. Yeah. Recovering wise, it's really actually easy comparatively to like the other matchups. I feel like there's a lot more. You have to be like very tricky or drift and stuff like that versus like Fox and Falco and like Mart or something. But against Sheik, you don't have to be tricky at all. You can literally just like see which way she's facing and decide what to do based on that. So Sheik technically does have ways to change the way she's facing fast, like with her needle turnaround stuff. But like most like Sheiks will not be able to do that, and even if they do the like the needle turnaround stuff, you can actually like punish that with like pound or something like that, because they will have to like overcommit in those types of situations because they are hard reading it. But the basic Sheik recovery is like if she's facing forward, she is basically only covering this range with her forward air, so you can just go through her. I would not go over her, because if you go over her, then she has the opportunity to like back air you on the way out. But if you go through her, you can literally just forward air or back air through her. It doesn't really matter if you're facing forward or facing backward versus Sheik, as much as it does versus other characters, because forward air is fast, so it can at least beat her startup of moves is like the big thing about forward air in terms of recovering a Sheik. But if she's facing backwards, then you want to go ledge. So those are like the two, because ledge can cover this, but ledge can't cover the ledge like downwards. So that's like the basic rule of thumb for recovering. So going this high over her, it's like it doesn't really do much, because if this, I don't know why Sheik Nair here. If Sheik literally back-aired you, you would potentially be off stage again, and you'd have to play another recovery mix-up. That'd be good. Okay, landing platform here is fine. Again, I'd probably just like double jump away instantly here, just because I don't want to avoid any like up till under the platform shenanigans. And if I try and shield drop here, again, doing the same type of back air, I'm going to get hard red. Alternatively, I could do like edge, like a turnaround and then edge cancel back air on the ledge again. That would be fine, technically. I don't really like it though, because I put myself back off stage. Whereas if I double jump away, I have the option to go like cross her up as well too. Okay, she forward airs your shield really badly, so that's fine. Wonder if, do you think this is a shield drop, or are you intentionally trying to forward air like Sheik on the platform?
I don't know. I might have like, I don't know. I got out of the shield, right? So I might have just like been like, oh, I can't grab here, so I have to throw out the aerial.
Yeah, I mean it's like the same thing as like landing mix-ups, right? Like in terms of Sheik is going to F tilt here or shield. Most likely Sheik is going to shield because they're next to you on the side platform. If you just like gone for like a tomahawk mix-up, honestly, I'd rather just shield drop up air the fair. I mean, instantly. That bad of a fair you can shield drop. Other fairs you cannot, basically. When they go that inside your hitbox, sometimes you can shield drop rest those type of situations. Mostly it's with Nair though. With fair, it's a little bit hard to do that, so it didn't really work out. Wow. Oh my god, you just almost died. That's crazy. Yeah, you just got pushed off really weirdly. That was insane. Okay. That was definitely very scary if the Sheik didn't just like do this random like forward air on the platform. Yeah, I think they actually meant to hit you here and they just like messed up. So like I'm saying, that's why going low when she's facing in front of you is just like not that great. Okay. She hits your shield. Good wave dash out shield. I would rather cross up because you don't have enough distance to actually avoid F tilt here. And that's like the biggest thing about Wavedash OOS shielding for sure. I found Wavedash OOS shielding. I'm only going for grab or F smash for sure.
Okay.
I mean, that's like the thing I said about Fox and Falco, but especially against Sheik, when like the 20% that you're getting neutral wins, you have to like make them count. If you get a grab or forward smash, matters a lot more, right? This is another like short hop pound being bad in everything, like every matchup. It's so bad. Oh my god. This is if you just want to put like a tomahawk mix up here, that would have been pretty good. It's like you could have also just like done like a grab ledge, turn around back air, and there's not like much she can do about that. Even if she like runs up shield or tries to like run up grab you or like nair you, all those options just lose. I'd have probably done that and like sees what Sheik wants to do there. If she just gives me stage and she starts dashing back, then I'll just take stage. And if she doesn't, then I'm gonna go like the side platform and try and like slowly work my way back in. Hopefully that she like throws out a back air and that can shark under her. If not, then I'll just like really take my time, try and like play like corner mix-ups, being like wave dashing around under like fairs, instead of doing like this type of pound. Because you don't really want to force like your way back into any type of situation, but okay, yeah, another back air on the ledge dash. Okay.
Yeah, it's good. Like, I wasn't aware of like all the options and stuff.
Yeah,
so, like I default to just like yeah,
it's like getting damage is like good against some characters like Falcon or Marth, but like against Sheik you definitely don't want to like do the rinse and repeat over and over again. Once you whiff this up air, you should just like immediately start thinking the Sheik is gonna spam more shield than they are gonna spam jump. So that's just something to keep in mind. Basically, whenever your mix up like that you're threatening whiffs, it's probably because they've moved on to the next level of mix up. So I'm instantly thinking I'm going for tomahawk grab every time now. Another type of situation, you like jump on the platform like after attacking Sheik instead of just jumping on the ground. Like if you just went to the ground here, and you could have also like whiff punish this on reaction. It's a little bit tight of a reaction, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't like fault you for not doing it. But you could have, but I would have just gone on the ground, and potentially if I'm like really there on the whiff punish reaction, and I'm like here, I can just double jump up air for free on her shield, and I could continuously pressure her shield with another double jump back air, and then just like back air again, or I could do double jump back air, falling up air, anticipating a shield drop fair or something like that. Those options are all really good. Because obviously, again, when you're near Sheik, you want to be able to do mix-ups that lead to kills, whereas like just going for back airs is like not going to be the best. So trying to like read a shield drop would be nice, or reading like a run-off fair and like going for like a sharking up air would also work too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely like trying to chase on the, like I'm like assuming that she's going to go platform, so I'm like, okay, the way I have to hit is like on flat, but then like now knowing that like it's kind of better to be under, it's like it's a good like list of priority to have, like to be under and then like maybe be beside her and then like
it's like being beside her on the ground is good because she doesn't have a hitbox like horizontal at all. That's why your back air is really strong in this matchup, but at the same time it doesn't like do much is also the problem with it. It's just more of a like a spacing tool to get in to the point where you can go for these up airs like grabs and stuff like that. And then what happened here? Also, if you're gonna do this type of insanely aggressive mix-up, literally just click grab here. It's
I'm surprised I didn't grab there.
That's another reason why shield drop thing like instantly is pretty bad versus Sheik. Whenever you're in the up tilt situation and you're like stuck on the platform, just jump away. You could potentially try and wave dash like after the up tilt shield drop then, but it's so like I don't like it intuitively at all. I've seen Hungrybox do it, but I didn't agree with it even then, because you just have to still play like you're still in a bad situation, and like just putting yourself outside of it is always better, generally. So you put yourself in like the bad zone again.
Oh, the like diagonal.
Yeah, you just like I don't know if you just missed your wave line or something here, but you got like hit and then you like air dodge out of it. But essentially like going like full away there onto the platform, then trying to double jump over and trying to get on top of Sheik again, like on a diagonal when she's on the platform. That's the only time you want to really be above Sheik, because you don't want to get hit by Needle's side, Needle's this way, because that's the only horizontal thing she has, for sure. And that's only really works when she's on the side platform, because if she's on the ground and she's throwing needles at you, you can literally just shield them like easily. Whereas like when you're in the air on the side platform, you want to attack her from the in the air, so it's like you're going to get hit when jumping. It's a big difference. But okay. Okay, yeah, Sheik again throws out forward tilt for the 1000th time. So that's another. That's literally what they'll do until you punish it. I'm surprised they even shielded here. They could have forward tilted again. That's something to keep in mind. If they whiff their first forward tilt, they will go for another one. But this time they didn't. You go for a tomahawk up tilt. But again, because the last time they went for shield on your up air read, then they've gone for shield again and stayed in shield. So they're definitely catching on that the threat is on the up air or like the jump out of shield, essentially, read. So now they're thinking about doing just hold shield. This is like not a bad back air, but like it's a little bit scary because the Sheik just decided to go into this spot where they could have just been on the platform and shooting like needles at you. So again, I would probably just jump up here, but it does work out for you. It's not like the worst thing in the world. Okay, go for another jump read. I don't really like doing this like jump read as much versus Sheik. Instead of like, if this was Marth or Falcon, I think I agree with this a lot, just because they like to jump out of moves at low percent. But like Sheik usually wants to either pick a crouch cancel option, so they're gonna forward tilt you out of this, they're gonna down smash. Sometimes they'll nair out of this too, depends. But usually I would just do my back air and just sit and crouch after the back air and crouch cancel rest if they go for down smash, and crouch cancel forward smash to go for F tilt, or you can like downer that. You can go for grab on that too. Depends. The less time you have, the less options you have. Again, like if you have more time to crouch cancel the F tilt because you're expecting it, you can forward smash it. If you have less time, then you go for like grab. If you have a middle amount of time, you can go for downer. Okay. Good grab on the shield because they were just spamming shield. And they actually had the worst DI ever on forward throw, so you can get something here.
Like I'm like, they went so far. I looked at the percent and I was like, Jesus, like.
Yeah. But they still can grab edge. So the mix-up here is whenever Sheik is off stage, and it basically comes down to you can grab edge on them if they or not necessarily you can grab edge, but you can hit them going to ledge. So their mix-ups are different than like Fox or Falco. Like Fox is like double jump, air dodge type stuff. She can technically do that stuff, but her air dodge is a lot worse than Fox's, and her jump is a lot worse than Fox's. So if she tries to do the same type of air dodge, you can actually just rest that. Whereas like Fox, you can't. So in this spot, instead of going out there with my back turned, I would go out there with my my front, so I can go for a forward air and try and snipe her jump. You can go for a weak forward air and a jump. And then her options after you hit her with weak forward air, like jump out of the weak forward air, which is bad because if she jumps out of the weak forward air, you can literally go for up air and just up air rest her, or you can like up air tech chase rest on the platform, something like that. Also, you can go for forward air if she doesn't jump out of the first weak forward air too. Some Sheiks just don't know you can jump out, so that also happens too. But her other mix-ups as well, also strong forward air could be the same spot. At 36, I think forward air still knocks down. Maybe it doesn't at the percent. I don't think it does. Against Fox and Falco it would, but I don't think it goes against Sheik. So if it did knock it down, you could go for strong forward air as well too. So her risk on that is that she doesn't want to die by jumping the ledge. So to defeat that, then she goes for like up air to protect herself. But if she goes for up air and you decide to just short hop and then react, then you can just wait out the up air and grab a ledge. Or she can go for double jump forward air, and if she goes for double jump forward air, you can do the short hop again, land here, and then wait for the forward air and just forward smash the forward air, and they just instantly die because they have no jumps, and that's really good too. So those are basically all of her mix-ups. She doesn't really have
Yeah.
anything else. She's not that good of a character off stage. So that's something to keep in mind here. If you ever like get her off stage and she has the opportunity to grab ledge faster than you do, those are basically all your mix-ups, and that's all of hers. Okay. Don't really like forward air from ledge again. I'd probably just turn around back air from ledge if anything. Just because if she sat here and like shield and tried to, and she would just be able to shield grab you or Nair to shield you. Both those would have happened. You get out of there. Yeah.
Real quick, sorry, my bad. Against like CC or like when they forward tilt and I crouch cancel it, what are my options there? So I heard you say like forward smash.
You can you have a lot actually. You can forward smash is the one that is the least lenient because of how long forward smash takes to get out. Usually that one's like on hard read. You can actually jump rest it and also sometimes Wavedash rest it too. Which is crazy, but those are a lot. I think that's too hard, honestly. I've like lapped it out and I don't really think it's reliable, but I'm not like the biggest like rest like monkey or whatever. So if you want to mess around with that, you can figure out if you think it's good. You can also grab it. I think that's the best one personally.
Okay.
You can also go for a down air too, and then potentially if the Sheik is at like 80%, you can go for down air into rest. I think it maybe starts working around 70. That's pretty good in this matchup for sure. Against like Fox and Falco, it's not as reliable. You have to do like the dash jump rest. Same thing with like Marth or something. But against Sheik, you can literally just rest her in the middle of down air, so it's like a lot better. But yeah, those are your main options for sure.
Okay.
And you can do that, like you can basically crouch cancel most of her moves and like punish her. The only ones that you really can't are like up tilt. And with up tilt, you basically want to grab in between the hits of up tilt. Either when you're crouching or when you're shielding. That's like the only way to beat it. Or you like wave dash out of shield after the up tilt hits and then try and punish what they do after. But you can crouch cancel grab Sheik's down tilt until like 90%. Same with like her F tilt obviously. On her down smash, again, you can crouch cancel rest it with either wave dash or jump.
Or like a jump.
Yeah, only when she's facing towards you. But if she's facing away from you, you can crouch cancel drill it, or you can you can do that. You can potentially crouch cancel F smash that too, but that's not lenient at all. I think drill is just way better. Same with out of shield. You can draw out of shield versus it too, or you can do a back air out of shield when you're both facing away on down smash. I would have just gone for aerial crouch here if I'm doing anything. Definitely since you're not out of a down smash like crouch range as well too. If you were just in crouch here, you could definitely just rest the jabs easily. But again, you somehow get into crouch again, and then you don't rest, which is crazy. That was really sad. Oh my god. Yeah, it's sometimes it's a read in terms of like when you can go for rest on their miss grab. But especially since they go for jab, almost every time they're going to go for jab grab, it's crazy that you spot dodge in between the jab and then went for crouch and it actually would have worked. So that would have been a crazy mix up. But against jab, usually you would up smash out of shield it, or you would go for a wave dash out of shield. It's a hard read on it. Again, a lot of up smash out of shield stuff is hard reads, but it's a really good option. Okay, after this happens, so it's crazy that Sheik actually decided to shield here, and you decided to grab. But after this, it's still crazy that she decides to jump. So sometimes when Sheik is next to you for so long, they will jump, like even though like the threat is still on them getting sharked out of the air by jumping on a shield. It's kind of like when you're sitting in crouch forever, and that's not good. They don't want to be sitting in shield forever, and that's not good. So they will jump out of shield eventually, which kind of breaks what I was saying, but that will happen sometimes. Yeah, you can't crouch cancel grab forward air, I assume is what you try to do here. That just will never work. You just like have to eat it. Like it's just unfortunate how it works. It's just Sheik's forward air is better than Puff's crouch or against against your shield too. You can't beat it out of shield, so you have to wait dash out of shield after it, or you have to if you're crouching, you have to wave dash and try and cross it up and like forward smash it or grab it or something like that. It's like your best options against it. But that's again on a read. And if you're gonna read that, you'd also go for a jump read as well too. Right. Big thing about weak forward air just kind of being like useless again. It's like if you're gonna read like this, like you should just go for like an up air if anything. But you go for weak forward air, which doesn't really do much. I kind of okay. So I think I talked about I don't like aerial falling up air as much in like the spacey matchups. I think it's pretty good in this one.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that you can crouch after the up air and be able to rest any grabs out of shield. That's like the only reason I think it's better in this matchup. So if I'm hitting a weak forward air or like any type of like aerial kind of similar to this, like let's say if this was a back air instead, I would just falling up air after it and then trying to get a rest. And if I hit the shield, I just crouch and then I could rest the grab out of shield. So that would be really good here instead of doing this back here. Actually pretty similar. I think I talked about this too in terms of like the opposite tech in or the roll in after back air and fair starts knocking down. And Sheik does the same thing too. Sheik's tech roll is a lot harder to punish, but if I'm going to punish them at all, I'm definitely trying to forward smash, rest, or grab them. So not trying to like aerial them. Okay, yeah, I don't really like, okay, so if I'm going to do like an aerial kind of like these forward airs, I would rather replace them with Nair. Just because Nair, if they jump, it's pretty good because I get chip damage on their jump. I can get close to them, and I can do aerial crouch. I just crouch after the auto cancel Nair, and then I'm close to them, and they're in a bad spot, and maybe they go for a down smash, and I'm below 36, I can just rest their down smash, stuff like that. Whereas like fair just doesn't really like lead to the same type of situations because it's just the worst hitboxes of the fact that you're gonna get a weak hit almost every time. So it's not great. This land was actually crazy that you went for this, and then also went for shield, which is insane. Oh my god, I was so hyped when you did this landing. So you notice, so basically this Sheik has gone for landing, forward tilt into shield every single time. So now that you know that they're doing that, I don't even want to be at this situation in the mix-up. I would have rather have either hit their landing 100 times or hit their F tilt 100 times so they can start doing other options. But because we're at this situation, this is like somehow like forced mix-up and anti-meta, then you should just know to just like grab their shield after the whip F tilt. But
see, it's crazy because these things seem so obvious. Like
yeah, it's
while watching or like whenever I'm like thinking like, oh, what am I gonna do? Like whenever I watch VODs, right, I'll be like, what do I do after this situation?
Yeah.
Like, I'll do this, and then I end up doing like something else, and I'm like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah, it's almost like you don't think that you have like advantage in a lot of situations. Yeah. Is what like I'm kind of boils down to. Yep, that's how I forward tilt shield again. Alright. Okay, this back air is fine. It was like not the best or not the worst. It's like kind of like just like an okay option. Okay, so this back air I don't like. There was no reason to do it. I don't know if you just like forgot that Sheik was gonna get knocked down by back air there, so you couldn't get like a follow up. Is maybe what I'm thinking. Or you're trying to like hard retech in place, maybe, or like whiff tech or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I do a lot of like after a back air, I kind of like. I don't know. It's more in the Fox matchup where like I'll get a back air and they'll like tech in place, and then like you get the second one.
Yeah, but like if you're reading that, then why not just jump and rest the second place? You know what I mean? And if you're wrong on the tech in place, then you have time to like, yeah, you don't have to do the rest, and you also have more time to like chase Sheik in the corner here or chase Fox in the corner here and like be closer to them, you know? This back air is completely fine. If I'm going to do this back air, falling up air right now, if they jump after, that's amazing. If they don't, I can either land behind them too. I don't really like doing it as much though, because then they have no opportunity to shield grab me. But you could just do back air, falling up air on their shield, space it, land, crouch, and then they have to do an actual option that's not grab you. Like there are options after getting hit on shield by like a falling up air are like Wavedash OOS shield down smash is one of them. Wavedash OOS shield F tilt or grab. Those are like the big three. They can like Nair out a shield too, which in case it doesn't really matter if they Nair out a shield because you're gonna be crouching, and it's pretty hard to hit a frame perfect Nair to actually hit Puff's crouch, which most Sheiks can't do. So that won't even work. They could also wave dash backwards and start like jumping, or they could jump as well. That's like probably the least common one, but this Sheik decided to jump. So if you did like aerial falling up air on their shield crouched, you could just read the jump out of shield with up air, and that would be crazy. Okay. Got another ledge situation. You go for back air again. They've gone for ledge dash shield every time. And if you could just read their ledge option every time, it's okay to not go for like really aggressive like drill stuff or like up tilt stuff or going like to snipe their ledge grab. It's okay to not do that and go for like the grab on the shield every time. If you've ever played against like Ice Climbers or Luigi, they'll do like ledge dash shield over and over again. You can just literally grab their ledge dash shield. It's the same thing with Sheik. If you just expect that every time, it's cool to just keep grabbing it over and over again. As long as you can set up like a favorable like Edgeguard mix-up where if you read them correctly, they die in terms of like their mix-up. But if you can't, then you should go for the more aggressive ones. Okay, so you get hit off stage here. This is a good, fine starting point for the back air. Okay, so Sheik is facing in front of me, so I don't want to go low. But I also want to fade back my back air so there's no opportunity to get hit. So, kind of similar to what I was saying about Falco, where he can't go off stage, she can also not go off stage. So her kind of limit is right here. This line again. It's pretty similar to Falco's line. So if you go past that line, you can literally just never get hit. So instead of drifting in with this back air, you drift away. You can literally just drift away, and then you can just landing back air, Sheik's forward air. You can landing up air it. If Sheik decides to stay on go to the side platform instead of going for this fair as well, because it's ambiguous whether they're just jumping to jump right now. They could jump and wave on the platform, right? So if they decide to do that, then you just play a recovery mix-up where if they're facing forward, then you just go through them horizontally, and then if they're facing backwards, then you go ledge, and then you just play this mix-up again. You can also go for like ledge dash on if they give you enough space. You can do turn winner on if they give you enough space as well too. So all those options. Okay, Sheik is facing forward. Like that was a scary go ledge there, for sure. I don't know why they F tilted. That was a forward air or needle. A needle is the biggest one. That's why also going downwards when Sheik is facing forward is scary, because they could just literally go for needle and confirm the fair every time. It's also not that great. Okay, this is completely fine. You could go for drill there too and actually get a more meaningful punish. I'm not like faulting you for going for fair though. It's like completely fine because you got tech chase as well too. But again, you go for this like forward air on a tech in place or miss tech, which is just like a big problem for sure. You went above Sheik again in terms of like in like an awkward type of situation instead of just like being on the ground next to her. If you decide to just sit here and crouch, Sheik goes for forward air here. You just whiff punish the forward air, and you should definitely be able to whiff punish that forward air pretty easily. Comparatively to like, you're primed to just wait out an option here. Whereas like in some of the other scrambles when she goes for like landing aerial into forward tilt, you weren't really ready to like whiff punish it. You were still in the air or something. But in this situation, Sheik is cornered and she doesn't have that much options like Fox and Falco do. So Sheik basically has to try and aerial out of the corner. She has to try and dash through you, or she has to try and jump out of the corner. So she tries to go for a forward air out of the corner. She just actually literally goes for nothing, which is crazy because if you decided to just sit there and she went for nothing, that's an easier back air than going to whiff punish forward air too. So don't like this. If you're going to be on the platform though, if you put yourself in that position accidentally after, or just like out of habit after this lesson, just like go for a drill and try and like shield poke like the back of their feet. Okay. So I don't like doing Wavedash forward smash on Sheik's shield like pretty much ever. I like doing this against Marth because Marth's more likely to jump out of shield, and the thing about Marth's grab is that you can at least 50-50 get out of it in order to not die. And then let's say they do like an up B out of shield. you can potentially opposite tech that, or you can potentially survival DI it. But with Sheik though, when you miss this forward smash, you will get shield grabbed and get hit no matter what. So it's like way worse to do these types of call out forward smashes against Sheik than it is to do against like Marth or like Falcon for something like that. It's like they have guaranteed, Sheik has a guaranteed kill off of a shield grab, whereas the other characters don't. It's like even Fox doesn't have a guaranteed kill off a shield grab because you can SDI the up air, or like potentially like Fox misses a dash or something. Like Sheik, this is like the freest combo in the game, so like it's not great to try and like play the mix up around it. You actually landing shielded again right where Sheik was. It's crazy. Oh my god. If you just sat there crouching and then just waited out this grab, I don't really fault you for not sitting here crouching, but realistically you should have just gone for like an instant grab instead of doing this. Okay, this back air is fine. This time you didn't do like, did you do the forward air stuff again on the mistech? No, this time you didn't, which is really good. So this is what like an actual like, you know, situation should look like. I will say though, if Sheik wasn't at 100, I don't like doing back air there. It's the same type of situation in terms of like beating a ledge dash option. I don't like doing a back air because it doesn't net you much and just reset the situation. If Sheik was at like 40, I don't like doing the back air there because she just slides off the ledge. So if Sheik wasn't at 40, I would land here and like try and bait out a forward tilt, crouch cancel with F-smash that, crouch cancel grab it, or bait out like a down smash, crouch cancel rest that if I'm at below the percents, stuff like that. Always would be better. Okay, so I didn't talk about like the aggressive in terms of mix-ups off stage. Like I do like going for this for sure. Usually like the forward air in these types of spots though, because I think it's a lot more lenient for sure in terms of aggressive mix-ups. So I would always be forward airing in these types of spots, but I do like going for them occasionally if you have a hard read on a Sheik. I will say though, most of the time I would rather try and play a standard edge guard and just like sit on ledge, try and like time it so I do my neutral get up as soon as Sheik poofs, like the white at the animation, and then rest that.
It's just like because when I'm like 100 or over, how should I play the grab? So is it the same thing where it's just like, is it like just a matter of different timing? Yeah,
it's just you just time it earlier. Essentially, is how it works. You just time the ledge get up earlier. It's like obviously harder at the same time, but sometimes you also, if you hit Sheik far enough off stage, let me see if this was far enough. It's cutting close. I think if Sheik was like maybe like here off the screen a little bit. So if Sheik is that far off stage, you can literally grab ledge and she can't hit you with her poof. So you can just sit on ledge and just ledge hop rest is a big thing. But this spot, you couldn't do that because she was a little bit too close. But yeah, you just time it earlier.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. Because I was always like, oh, I can't do it if I'm like, or like, I always get hit by the hitbox, right? So
yeah.
But it's something I just gotta try to.
Okay, this was a good go through Sheik, but you just like, I think you just like mess up your movement pretty badly here. You don't want to land in these types of situations, right? Because then you have to go through the landing animation, you have to go through L canceling. You can potentially miss your L cancel, so try not to land when you're recovering through Sheik. You just want to literally hit her with a forward air, drift all the way to center, because she can't beat you anymore after she gets hit by this forward air.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the only reason why you got hit here. Because you did it perfectly, you just landed on the platform, which is why you got hit. Okay. Again, she's just sitting in shield now. This time she actually goes for her down tilt and whiffs. That's crazy. Okay, so what happens basically when you get hit on shield versus Sheik? Like I was saying, I really just like to just wave dash out of shield to get out of bad situations. I always time my wave dash after moves and try and do a wave dash forward smash where they go for a jump. Again, you can go for like a call out up air on these types of jumps. I think they're too risky because they can just choose not to jump and they can go for like grab or something. You go for a grab they go for a grab on your jump, you can just get grabbed out of the air, obviously, you die. So it's like, I'd rather wave dash and then just literally basically close your eyes when you wave dash forward smash out of shield because they will just get hit by it. At worst, you're gonna trade with like a forward air or something like that, but usually you don't. So that's really good. You don't really have to buffer roll here. Let's see. Yeah, so when this back air hits your shield, you can't. Okay, so on this spacing, you can't shield grab it, which is good. But by buffering roll, it's just like you don't really get much off of this, and you just potentially get tech chase. What I would do instead probably is just Wavedash shield again. You could also just Wavedash down in this particular instance too, and just sit and crap. Yeah, it's already a space move, so you just know that they can't really do anything. If that was a forwarder, I wouldn't Wavedash down every versus forwarder, because they can instantly jab you. Because they're back airing, they can't jab you after it, so they don't have a safe, reliable answer to that. So if you just Wavedash down and they just try and like go for like a run up grab on your roll here, then they just literally die. So that would be good. When you're escaping the corner, it's definitely, I don't like doing these type of back airs at all. One way to escape the corner is trying to go above and over Sheik and trying to like weave your way around. Like I was saying earlier, you can Wavedash cross up Sheik when she's doing these type of forward airs. That's another way to escape the corner. If you have more space, Wavedash back. But also all these, or you can try and like Wavedash out of shield after a forward air and do that too. Those are a lot of options. If you do any shielded options, you have to worry about the mix up of grab instead, empty lane grab instead of forward air too. So that's pretty big distinction. Okay, this was pretty good. It's actually crazy the Sheik is still jumping even though you've thrown out like 0 grabs. It's like they had a brain for like maybe a stock in terms of just holding shield, and then they just go back to reverting to themselves. I still would just potentially throw out the grabs once you notice that your up airs stop working, and then when the grabs stop working, you go back to getting up air. It's gonna be a cyclical cycle over and over again. It's like the only 2 mix-ups that you're gonna do. Okay, get this up air. There's pretty much nothing you could have done there. I mean, like, yeah, I guess you could hard read like Sheik completely falling here and go for a back air at this timing. But you go for a jump back air, expecting them to go for like a jump forward air. And nothing wrong with that, because last time they did go for a jump, so don't follow you on this one. You went for a back air mix up at the ledge. You actually lost to ledge hop needles, which is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a Sheik go for ledge hop needles there, and it works. So yeah, that's kind of also a reason why the back air stuff just doesn't work. If you just sat there crouching, you could have like, well, not necessarily in this situation. Let's say you're shielding instead of crouching, and then you could just take the needles on shield. On reaction, you could probably also just sit there crouching and just shield the needles too, because there's nothing they can do off of a ledge hop there besides needles. They could forward air too, but it also just doesn't really do anything for them. Yeah, if you're gonna crouch under the grab, you should definitely just click rest, but it's not easy for sure. I know that. You get onto the platform again, you completely lose like any opportunity to play any mix-ups here, which is just sad. But you do an aerial crouch and you crouch under the grab, but you go for this up air because you're not reacting. That sucks. Okay. But yeah, if you just didn't go to the platform there, you could have played a tomahawk mix-up. Whew. This was actually a crazy sequence. Okay, so they whiff the grab. They think they're gonna get arrested, so they roll in. And then you go for this up tilt. I assume you reacted to the roll in, which is crazy. But if you're gonna react to roll in, you should just go for like a rest, if anything, or go for a grab if you're not like 100% sure. Okay, so I was saying about how I don't like pound, but sometimes these type of pounds do work if they don't go for a like an instant aerial. Yeah. So how do I say? I still don't like this. I still don't like this intuitively. I don't like this. Okay, so if I'm gonna do this type of pound, I'd rather do it off a shield drop. So Sheik is in center stage. She's throwing this exact same forward air, but I'm on the platform. And if I whiff on the platform, at least I will be in a better position. Yeah. I'll get hit by the forward air in the air. I'll be like here and hitting with the pound instead of like at this angle. So when I get hit at this angle, I'm going to get forward aired into oblivion. But if I whiff this pound, I'm going to get forward aired and just being able to get the hit off stage, and that's fine. Yeah. So I'd rather do that. But that was a good tech chase. This time you can't drill out of the Nair, it's just too high percent. Usually it's like around like 30% is when the drill out of Nair stops working. This spot is kind of awkward in terms of going for a forwarder here. I'd rather not try and fight as much as possible in order to avoid getting low on resources and potentially just getting gimped here. You could literally die off just getting needle sniped. So instead of doing this, I would just try and take center on Sheik, because again she's facing forward, so I can just take center on her. So right here, after the Nair, I would probably just try and fair through her, and maybe that won't work some of the time, but realistically most of the time it will work, because let's say after the Nair she goes for a shield for some reason. Sometimes they go for a shield there, and you go for a fair. She can't grab your fair if you go through her, so she has to try and Nair. But because you're not going to be on the ground after the fair if you do it right, not like the previous one where you land on the platform. Again, always try not to land on the platform when you're going through someone. So if you go through her, she can't Nair out to shield you, and you just get through. And if she does this type of fair, if you were just fairing over her like this, expecting her to be still on the platform, then you still get to center for free. She can't throw out a back air in time. So that's just like the importance of just going through her. But you go through her actually, but realistically, after this F tilt, you should have just gotten down smashed or like F tilted again or grabbed or something. Any of those options. It's definitely scary to do. Once you do hit that forward tilt against Sheik, after that, I would be waiting for the crouch cancel option, and then I would just whiff punish the crouch cancel option. Or if I think I can't whiff punish it completely, I will just jump over her and just get safely back to center. I'd probably prefer to get safely back to center as a default though. Okay, so you get the grab. Worst DI ever again on... Oh, so that was the other option in terms of the fact that she can jump forward air here. So again, be at the jump forward air. So technically they can space and time their jump forward airs well enough to the point where if you try and F smash here, they will just be able to either fall below you or grab ledge. And that's completely fine. If I'm playing that mix-up, I would rather get a kill off it. If I notice that their jump forward airs are spaced so that they are falling like this, I still do the wait, and instead of doing the F smash, I just grab ledge after the forward air, and then I'm in a good spot, because then they have to recover against me, obviously, and they should die. Okay, you go below when Sheik is facing you, which is good, but with the amount of jumps you have, I'd rather just go on the stage. In these types of situations, you have no jumps. You kind of have to ignore the rule of going low when Sheik is facing her back to you, because if you go low and then grab ledge on you, then they just ledge up back at you anyways. So like what I would do instead is I would try and cross up Sheik as much as possible. If I have to cross her up with an air dodge, that's fine. And then if you cross her up and she goes for forward air, I would just try and like land on the ground or something like that. Like, you know, slide off. Yeah, you did not drift this far enough back to be able to get grabbed here. Yeah, you try and drift in after the back air, which doesn't really make sense, right? Like, if you just kept drifting back and just played outside of the range that she can go off stage to, then there's no way you can get grabbed here. Then you can just whiff punish the grab. Wow, this is crazy. You go for an empty land mix-up here. And, this is completely fine, because Sheik is not on the platform, so shield dropping into her here is good. Every other time you go for shield drop back air, which is what Sheik is expecting here, so she's crouching. So this is great. This is basically the same thing as doing the wave off the platform. I'd prefer doing the wave off the platform because it's faster as well too. But you definitely do the empty land. Sheik actually goes for a whiff grab, so I don't agree with Sheik going for grab there. She definitely was hard reading that you're gonna back air, and didn't even confirm that it hit her crouch in order to crouch cancel grab it. So that's bad on the Sheik. But realistically, what the mix-up was is you were gonna be up tilting her crouch or grabbing her crouch, you know, right? So either of those would have been really, really good to mix up your back airs. Okay. Whenever she's hitting the back of your shield with down tilt, you can up smash out a shield, her down tilt as well. Same with her forward tilt is right too. But you could also do drill out of shield. That's what I like to do instead most of the time. So I would draw the shield here into, at this percent, it's a little tricky because I can't really crouch after the drill because then she can down smash. So I do a mix up of either shield or crouch. Shield is going to beat the down smash, and if she does down smash, I can draw out a shield if she's facing back to me, or if she's in front of me, then I can do a rest. And if she doesn't do a down smash and she does another down tilt or something like that, then I can just crouch and cancel the down tilt. Yeah. You can definitely shield grab all those down tilts for sure too. When they're spamming down tilt like this, I just definitely spam drill back at them because there's not much they can do when they're crouching right when you're doing a downer. As well too, you can do for like a really like low back air, do like a full hop, really low back air, and just space around the down tilt. That works too. It's a little sketch because down tilt is an anti-air move. Or you can try and do the empty line mix-ups as well too. But sometimes it's scary because if they do an F tilt instead of a down tilt, then you just get caught in the air for no reason, and then you get F tilt paired. So that's the only difference there. But sometimes you can just feel that they're in down tilt mode, kind of like when Fox is in up smash mode, so it's not like you're risking much by going for like an empty line mix-up. This is really awkward. Okay, so you go for the back air again. I still don't like you've only picked those two options, so again, just try and mix it up with the double jump away or during the wave line off stuff more. So you go for this insane roll read, which doesn't pan out. You go for this back air, which, again, if you're reading a jump, or you're just trying to hit them in shield. If you're hitting them in shield, you'd rather just be on top of them with a nair or an up air, right? So you can do an instant crouch into a mix-up, but when you do a back air like this, doesn't really accomplish much. And then you get jab forward it for your troubles. Oh, free rest.
Yes, rest.
The game is over right there. That's crazy. Okay, just jump needles.
Game was definitely over like 20 times. I'm not gonna lie.
If they ever do these jump needles, you can just literally just either you can full hop around the jump needles and just back air them for it. Sometimes if you're already off stage with like a full hop towards them, you can just eat the needles and just ferry them out of the needle stun. Okay. That's really good. You don't even know how many top players just lose this type of situation. In this spot, you could probably try and downer the ledge if you have no other opportunities, because you can't really grab ledge there, so it's a little tricky. I'd probably just try and downer it. Can you try and back air the ledge dash instead of trying like grab their shield again? I like that up air for sure, just because you're going for like a cross-up situation, so they thought maybe they can sneak out an aerial here. So this was a good up air timing. Okay. You go for this weird like I don't know if you're trying to go for another up air. I'm not sure. But once you whiff that, good thing you're holding down crouch. That's good. That's what we were talking about in the last session.
Yeah.
Okay, so but you don't keep holding crouch, which is the weird thing. If you just held crouch after these, after the jabs, then you could just crouch cancel, grab the jabs. Okay. So that'd been really good. Okay, jump off stage is good, but you missed your jump or something. So that,
I'm pretty sure I missed the jump.
Yeah, so it's just not a good spot. Again, you're being too like holding in too much on this like back air spacing. It's like you do this back air and you just hold in right after and you should get hit here, but you just luckily avoid that. It's crazy actually how you avoid that. So you whiff the grab, you hold down, really good. Free rest again. Oh no. Oh my god, that's sad. So you can also wave dash and do this. It depends on what you find more consistent. Like, hit the leg. I would definitely practice this in Uncle Punch and see which one you like more. I like jump more. It just feels way better to me.
No, yeah, because it's like it's kind of like you're gonna do that against Fox and you're gonna do that against all these other characters.
It's like sometimes the wave dash is like the thing in other matchups, like Samus wave dash is better to do out of shield stuff. So depends on what you want to be consistent on. Oh my god, that is sad. So whenever she's doing
just like kind of go high.
Yeah, go high as possible to avoid this. This should not like happen like ever, essentially. Yeah, it's definitely, you don't want to jump into the needles ever. You can just try and jump away back here too. Yeah. To try and avoid it as well. That would work. All right. So, do you have any questions?
Uh, hmm, not really. That's a lot of good stuff. I was thinking earlier. You mentioned like it's a lot of like having awareness of like when you're at the advantage and then knowing what moves and like what mix-ups are good for them.
Yeah.
And like especially at the edge, like I have no clue like prior to this what the mix-ups were.
Yeah.
And like the idea of like I don't know what it was, but like maybe like starting like the last 2 months, I was like I used to play I had really like insanely bad spacing with Puff like in every matchup where I just kind of wanted to like continuously go in. So I was like I need to like take some time and like be a lot more like aware of like that I can't just like rush in.
Yeah.
But there's obviously like there's a balance of that, right? Like you said, like there's a hot and there's cold, right? So
Yeah. Stop and go.
that kind of thing is that exactly right. That kind of thing is really good to keep in mind.
Yeah, no, those are pretty good points for sure.
No, this matchup feels really easy now.
Yeah, it's
Like
there's not a
knowing
lot
all
to
this
it.
shit, it's like that's crazy. There's so much stuff. Like, and I'm noticing it too. I'm like looking at the games and I'm like, there's like 50 times here where like, I have such a good thing going, and I feel like there's a lot of like VODs where like I notice that like wow I'm getting them in shield a lot, but I'm not like doing anything with it.
Yeah, you're not capitalizing for sure.
Definitely like something I'm gonna really try to like keep in mind when I go and play some friendlies.
Well, that's good. All right.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
I probably will catch you sometime for like a Marth lesson sometime.
Sounds good.
I'll figure that out. But have a good one. Break soon, so have a good Christmas.
Yeah, you too, man.
And take care.
Peace.